Happy New Year and welcome to episode 88 of the We'll Just Agree
Could disagree.
podcast. I'm Beyonce Fox. Happy New Year, Ryan.
I am Ryan Lee. Happy New Year, B. We are back.
Yes, we are. Ooh, episode 88. Oh my gosh, we're like 12 away from 100.
Yeah.
Ooh,
How was the holidays? How was your New Year?
it was great. Everything was awesome. Of course, traveled, had fun, did a little shopping, whole lot of eating, family gatherings,
Yeah.
the usual. It was
Yeah.
great. What about yours?
Likewise, traveling, but going to be with the family was good. Traveling, this had to be the worst traveling experience, I
Oh,
think.
let me
I've
guess.
gone
You got
through.
caught up in that whole Southwest piece.
Man, Southwest cancellation, snowstorms couldn't have come at the worst time. It's been the worst, but it still was grateful, still was able to travel, be with family, got there before Christmas, which was not going to happen at one point. So it was good. It turned out good. Happy to be back though.
Good, good. I wish I was still away.
You know what I realized though? I was saying this to one of our other coworkers. I enjoy that when we're at work, we have like a routine with our life. Well, you really don't. I have a routine.
Yeah, I
You
do.
you do something every day, every night. You may go to this event, you may do this. Monday through Friday, I know what I'm doing from sunrise to sundown.
Oh,
That's not you.
yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. So I think I missed that, but I'm happy to be back.
You missed the routine?
Yeah, I absolutely did.
Eek.
I
It's the
haven't
routine I'm trying to get away from.
I haven't worked out in like since we probably did the last podcast. That's usually a part of my routine. So even my
Okay.
body is feeling off. Like, what's going
Okay.
on?
Yeah. Yay. Clap it up for those who work out. I got to get back on that bike. Oh boy.
You got a
Anyway,
whole B.
I know.
I
I
I
said
remember when you bought the whole shout out to Peloton.
I said I got to get back on the bike. Oh, I love the bike. I just have to get on it.
You know, you told me about a month ago
What?
that we talked about that bike.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna get back on it. I
That
promise
you
you.
have
Because
that you have clothes on the bike.
oh yeah, I do. Yeah, that's not good, right?
No,
They were hanging
that's
on.
terrible.
They're hanging on the handlebars of the bike. That's bad. That's really
You
bad.
think?
And I had to buy a clothing rack, which is sitting in the living room in the corner with coats on it.
And you said you did what this holiday break?
Minimal shopping.
But you shopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't shop during the holidays? Come on.
I didn't buy one thing during the holidays for myself.
Oh my gosh.
Not one thing. I bought gifts and that's it.
How does that happen? What?
Not one thing.
I need to start hanging out with you a little bit more.
You've been to the mall with me multiple times. We went to the mall recently together. And what did I keep telling you? Oh, that's nice, but no, you don't need that, B. You literally have that.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
Uh,
I do remember now. Yeah. Shout out
okay,
to
B.
Jamie.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, shout out to Jamie. All right, B. It's a new year. We're in Illinois, and there are a lot of new laws that have been put into place. 180?
80?
Yeah,
More than 180. Yeah.
more than 180. We're gonna go through. We picked out a few that we're gonna discuss. What are our thoughts on it? You kick it off. What is your first new law of the year?
Yeah. So, I mentor youth and teens and whatnot. You've even met some of the girls that I that I mentor
Right.
through our She Chicago organization. Um, so I thought that this one was really, really cool and very, very necessary. It's a new student school helpline.
Okay.
And this helpline is it involves officers from schools, I should say officials from schools, can't read my writing. Also, officials from the state, Illinois State Police,
Mhm.
and it allows people to get reports and info about potential harm that can be happening to students
Mm.
and or school employees, i.e., school shootings,
Mhm.
someone threatening the school with a bomb,
Mhm.
just,
Mhm.
just craziness. So
Yeah.
I think that is excellent. And it'll allow police to know what's going on before something happens so they can thwart that potential casualty.
Right.
So there's a phone number, there's a website, you can text. Let me just give this info real quick. The phone number is 844-4SAFE-Illinois. I think that's cool. If you want to be on the low, you don't want your friends knowing that you're calling, because there's a lot of peer pressure in high schools and schools. You can even text to SAFE and then the number 2. So I think that's awesome.
No, I like that too. I mean, anything that is trying to take precaution, I'm not against,
Yep.
especially when we saw all the school shootings that took place in 2022 alone. So
Yes.
if this is something that can save one person's life, I'm not mad at it at all. And I think it is necessary in many other states.
Yep.
I'm not mad at that.
What you got?
One thing that I wish was different, or for me when I was younger, first started working, the minimum wage has gone up. Starting
Yeah.
January 1st, it went up to $13 an hour. It was originally at $12 an hour. And for those who earn tips, their rate is now going to increase to $7.80 an hour.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's always so much lower because you're making
Yeah.
it up in tips, which is why it's so important that you tip people.
Based off,
Honestly,
based off the service, yes.
yeah, I'll give you that. But
Uh-huh.
even when I don't have the best service, I'm still going to give them like the minimal of like 15%. Normally I give 20, 25%. But if the service isn't that great, I mean, it would have to be really, really bad for me to never tip you. And fortunately, I haven't had service that was that bad. You have?
Whole nother podcast. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. But I'm not mad at the minimum wage going up. I'm not shocked, actually. I think it's
Mhm.
hard for any field right now to get people that really want to stay working. I think
How about it?
COVID hit it. I was somewhere this holiday break. It may have been in the airport. And I was talking to somebody who was working. They were like a manager, and they had like, it was only her and one other person. And she was literally like, I can't get people to stay because they're making more money at home, on unemployment, government assistance, so they're like, why am I going to work to make this?
Yeah.
So I'm not shocked that Illinois was like, yo, we're gonna try to up the minimum wage. Maybe this could help keep people in jobs.
I wish I had gone a little higher to like maybe $15 an hour, but you know what? Some people are paying more than the minimum wage just to encourage people to
Yeah,
come to work. Because
no,
when I'm driving down
absolutely.
like Stony Island, whatever, I'm looking at the White Castle billboard. It's like night
Yes.
shift starting at $19
Isn't
an
it
hour.
isn't it crazy that you can see that now? I've driven past so many places in Orland that I'd never known how much you can make working at a Chick-fil-A or something. But you're right. They literally
Yes.
put it out there. They throw it in your face. You can
Yep.
make this much. I was at Walgreens the other night, starting at blah blah blah. I was like,
Yep.
because I'm gonna tell you one thing. I be thinking, I'm starting at what? I can do one or two
And
things.
and some of them throw in free meals. They make that
Benefit.
known that you get free meals, benefits. So yeah, I mean, they're trying to encourage people to get back to work, but you're right. A lot of people aren't because they can make more money doing other things.
Can't you
So,
see me working at Chick-fil-A?
um, seriously, like if you're a teen or something, that's like a good start, and you can
My
move your way up into management.
my pleasure. Sign me up.
The next one for me is the Task Force on Missing and Murdered Chicago Women Act.
That's a big
Now, as a
yeah,
Black woman, this
yeah,
is really, really important to me. And again, as a mentor to Black youth
yeah.
and girls in particular, it's very, very important. This will examine systemic violence that is experienced by Black women and Black girls. And
Mhm.
according to the National Crime Information Center, nearly 100,000 women and girls go missing.
That's crazy.
That's a lot.
That's crazy.
That's nationally.
Right.
I didn't get the exact numbers for the state of Illinois, but nationally, more than 100,000. And we know some very high profile cases right here in the state of Illinois, right here in the city of Chicago. The postal worker, Kiara Coles,
Kiara
who
Cole.
vanished
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
And then let's go way back to the early 2000s, 2001, Tiana and Diamond Bradley, the sisters who just disappeared.
Yeah.
That
I
was over
actually
20 years ago.
I want to give a shout out to our radio sister here at iHeart, Candace McCullum. from 1390 did a whole piece last year
Yeah.
that you guys can check out on her social about the amount of missing women. And if I'm correct, it was missing Black women too.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
happened right here in the city last year alone. And it's sad not to go off. I don't know if you've been watching this story about the missing girl out in Houston, and
Hmm.
a lot of celebrities have been posting about her. And I really, for some reason, my heart has been to that story, and I've really been praying for that family. Update: she is home, safe and found. But the fact that the sex trafficker was bringing her to the police station to take her name off the missing list so then they could go do whatever they were going to do with her in Mexico. That really, for some reason, was pulling at my heart. And to know that that amount of women go through that on a daily basis, I think this is why we
Yes.
make the statements that we have to protect our women, and to get more specifically, protect our Black women, because that's not okay. And I'm glad Illinois has made a law that can kind of try to decrease that number.
Yes. Whew.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Uh, Another one that I think this is major, not just for the state, but specifically here in Chicago, because so many people have been victims to carjackings. And
Mm.
now there's the new law that there's no fines for carjacking victims. So what does that mean? If my car gets stolen and I go and report it, you have to report it to the law that my car has been stolen for however long of a period that is stolen until it gets returned to me. If there's a speeding ticket that's done, any fines that get put on the car during that time period, from when I reported it to the law to when I return it, I don't have to pay for no more. Which is crazy to think I had to pay before when my car was carjacked. But
Right.
I'm glad that is now in place.
So does that still apply even if the car is returned to you?
That part I'm not sure. But
Okay.
from what I'm gathering from doing the research on it, if the car is returned to you, right? If there was anything done in that time period, I think that's what you don't have to pay. You
Okay.
get what I
I
mean?
get it.
Now,
I
if you
get it.
take the car off the lot, you got your car back, and you go get a speeding ticket,
Then
you,
that's on you.
that's
I
on
got
you.
it. That
But
makes a whole lot of sense.
it
Yeah,
makes
that
sense.
makes a lot of
Anything that
sense.
is
Yeah.
done in that time period, but you must report it to the law. So if your car
Right.
gets stolen and you don't report it till 3 weeks later, but during that time period it was getting fines, you have to report it, and then
Yeah.
now there will be no fines for the victims.
So you'd be responsible for I get it. It's gotta be on paper. You
Make
can't just be like, "Yeah, my car got stolen," and yeah, I
make
get it.
sure
That
it's on
makes a whole lot
paper.
of
So
sense.
that anything they do while your car is stolen, you're good.
Okay, and then, I have another one here, the Crown Act, and that's the act where I'm just gonna paraphrase this and keep it in
Mhm.
layman's terms, where you pretty much can wear your hairstyle, your natural hair, in any way that you want. I don't know if you've been noticing, I watch a lot of news, and I see a lot of anchors now wearing cornrows and braids
I
and,
love it.
dreadlocks, locks, and twists, and I'm just like, "Whoa,
I
this
love
is
it.
great." It
Yeah,
looks so cool, like,
I
to
love it.
see it because it's opening up our culture and it's bringing diversity into the newsrooms and stuff. And people need to see that, hey, it's okay. You cannot discriminate against me. You cannot tell me to change my hairstyle. You
Yeah,
can't do that. Look,
yeah.
I'm red this week. I might be black and long next week. Well, I'll still be black, but I might have black hair and be long next week. So I can wear
Debatable.
I
Debatable, depending on what you're saying.
I can wear my hair however I choose to wear my hair, and you can't stop me. Even in
No,
a corporate setting, you
yeah.
know what I mean? So,
No,
I
I
think
love
that's a
that
good look.
because I remember when I grew up and I was like, I'm gonna be on news. I wanted to be a news anchor, right? And until I realized how much work goes into being a news anchor, reporter, shout out to them. But I remember thinking I had to fit in a box and I could only wear this.
Yep.
My hair could never be long like it is now, and I could never wear hats to work. Couldn't do none of that. And that was part of the reason that I was like, that's not me. Beyonce, you know me. I'm in sweats every day at work. It's not for me. Now, if I have to do it, okay, cool. But I do
Yeah.
like watching the news in here. I like seeing the different outfits. They're stylish now. I've
Mhm.
seen thigh-high boots, but it's in a nice conservative way. But you would not have seen that like 10 years ago. So I'm for it.
No, no, I see tattoos.
Yeah, yeah.
I see jewelry that's just, like, so, like,
Or do
big
you remember,
and
you probably definitely know this because you were in news at one point. There was a certain length that they used to recommend to females
yes,
that your hair should be, and it shouldn't be longer than
yes,
that. So I'm for
yep.
that. Last
Yep.
one that I have, and this is probably actually hits home to both of us. The family bereavement, if I could talk, the family,
Bereavement.
there goes act. You
Mhm.
now can take up to 10 days, and that
Wow.
considers attending a funeral, whatever time you need, to be with if you lost a personal relative or whatever. You now can take up to 10.
Wow, and that's good because people nowadays with all the stresses of the world that are going on, I mean, even back in the day, I mean, if you lose a loved one,
It's
and we both have lost dear loved ones, if you lose
mentally.
a loved one, like 3 days? Really?
But and I want to put this out there though. Shout out to iHeart because I think we both can testify that
Oh, yeah.
we went through it and they were like making sure we were good. They were
Yeah,
focused on us and our families first instead of you got to come back to work. So I just want to shout
absolutely.
them out and thank them. But for companies that may not have that type of grace from some of their management, I'm glad
Mhm.
that there's now a law in place that says no, they have 10 days, however they decide to use them is
Yeah,
how they decide. Because like you said, when you go through losing a loved one, a friend, whoever it could be, that can affect you.
yeah. In many ways, and it affects your work, and you don't want your work affected, especially someone who has a position like us where we're actually on the air, and when that red on air light comes on, you better act like nothing is wrong in the world. So
Yeah.
yeah, but you're right. Shout out to iHeart because it's such a great company to work for because they really, really care about their employees
Yeah.
and that whole bereavement piece. Yeah, we were given the option of, hey, take
Yeah.
whatever you want.
And when
So
you
yes,
and when you hear that, it means more than what I think people understand.
yeah.
Because a lot of times when you're planning for the funeral, you're planning when to go out of town. I remember when for my grandmother, when it first happened that next day, it happened on a Sunday. Monday, I was like, I can't go. I'm not there. And I remember my parents were
Mhm.
like, make sure you got enough time though, because we're gonna have to go out of town and we got to plan for that because my family's not here. But luckily, my management was like, whatever you need.
Yeah.
If you have that feeling that your job supports you, it's dope.
And that's half the battle. That takes the stress off your shoulders right there.
No,
So,
literally,
yep, big
literally.
love to that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, iHeart. Finally, one more law. I'm not sure if this was passed or not, but there was something about like if you buy 3 pairs of shoes, they're gonna throw in a handbag. Did you hear about that one?
Not in 2023, Devil. Nope. Mm-mm. Not in 2023.
Just maybe
Nope.
I read wrong.
Mm-mm.
Wait,
'Cause you
I
nah,
probably read it wrong.
stop. Because I went to church New Year's, and shout out to Pastor Hannah. I'm not doing it in 2023. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I probably read it wrong.
You did.
Yeah,
Yep.
I read something wrong. Okay.
It's the red
So
in your hair. You put too much dye in your hair. That's the problem. Get back to the black Beyonce. You want to come on the podcast in 2023 with the red hair? You cut your hair. Now you talking reckless. Now I was trying to be good. I, get back to your black.
she'll be back soon. Yeah, yeah. Had to
Guys,
clip it
we
up a
are
little bit.
back. Beyonce, we're back. Episode 88 of the We'll Just Agree to Disagree podcast. Make sure you guys follow us on social, subscribe. We missed you. We're back though.
Yeah, we're back. Brand new year. Wishing you all the best of good health, happiness, prosperity, all of that good stuff in the new year 2023. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. We expect you to hang out with us all year now.
If I'm here. All right. Talk to you guys next week. Bye, Beyonce.
Bye, Ryan.